Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wyld. Today we are talking about, I thought it was a different place. DoorDash customer orders from local restaurant Catfish Kitchen. It's just Captain D's. All right, from the title, I'm not really sure what this is really about. I think this is more about the concept of ghost kitchens. And if you don't know what a ghost kitchen is, it's like a virtual restaurant that resides within other restaurants. But there's a lot of mixed opinions of it. And this person is calling Captain D's Catfish Kitchen, which actually is kind of fitting. So with that said, I want to go over everything that is being said in this article, how it actually is for DoorDash, UberEats, and Grubhub customers and drivers, the restaurants and the platforms and everything in between. So with that said, let's get started. A user on TikTok is calling out food delivery services after claiming that she placed an order from a restaurant called Catfish Kitchen. But when the order was delivered, it was food from the fast casual restaurant chain Captain D's. It actually is kind of fitting. You got catfished. Tell me food delivery is turning into a dating app without telling me food delivery is turning into a dating app.
Just some real catfish.
In a video with over 585,000 views as of Saturday, TikTok user Sissy at Senarozay recounts her experience. Things you do for content, huh? I'm going to leave our TikTok as well as her profile in the description so you can develop your own opinions on the subject.
So tell me why I thought I was ordering from a place called Catfish Kitchen. I made sure the address was actually a business address because I know some of y'all like to make food out your kitchen and put it on DoorDash.
Oh, that's annoying. You actually thought it was coming from a legitimate business too. Like, we actually made a video where somebody actually said, if you look up the address, you can actually see for yourself that, hey, the Burger Den or the Meltdown or whatever aren't restaurants themselves. They're ghost kitchens within other restaurants. And this time it didn't work out that way. If you don't know what I'm talking about in terms of that video, I will leave the video I'm referring to in the description. Feel free to check that out. But now ghost kitchens are leveling up to where they're not even putting the right addresses into Google or anything like that. That's insane. However, when she received the order, she discovered that the business was Captain D's.
I thought this was not my order. I thought I got the wrong order. I opened it up. It was my exact order.
So it wasn't like it was a stacked order or anything. She got exactly what she asked for, and she got it from a restaurant that wasn't the same restaurant. But here's the other question though. Does she not like Captain D's? Is that why Catfish Kitchen was a thing? I don't know. I feel like that's other questions I haven't gotten answered. CC likely encountered what is called a ghost kitchen. There are many types of ghost kitchens, but in this case, a ghost kitchen or ghost restaurant refers to a restaurant specializing in delivery that operates within another restaurant. And sometimes the entirety of the ghost kitchen is literally just a bunch of ghost kitchens within one building, and they were kind of going for that to begin with. But then you got places that are like Denny's, where you got the Meltdown, the Burger Den, and it's really all just Denny's. Or you got It's Just Wings from Chili's, or you got the Roasted Wing from Anthony's Coal Fired Pizza, Tender Shack from Outback, and a couple of other locations, whatever. And people are finding them suspicious. This topic has sparked discussion on several times before. In January, a user on TikTok went viral after noting that several delivery restaurants, namely Super Megadilla and Thrilled Cheese, are virtual brands operated out of IHOP and similar restaurants. I actually made a video talking all about that specifically. I will leave that video in the description. Feel free to check that out. Others have simply lamented the experience of ordering from ghost kitchens or virtual brands. One user virtually complained about a sandwich she received from the Meltdown, which is operated out of Denny's. Another showed how a restaurant used stock photos on UberEats to serve subpar food. But yeah, that's another problem that a lot of these virtual brands have actually been doing, is that they're using stock photos in order to pitch the idea that they're better than they actually are. A lot of the times that's not a big deal because, hey, you would rather a nicer photo to represent the meals that you're getting, right? But a lot of the times they're not even representing the same meal anymore. Like, it's one thing to have a nicer photo taken of your chili cheese fries or your big old burger that makes it look thicker than it actually is, but then using that not even using half of the ingredients that are being displayed within the photo, that's a problem. Don't sell the concept of a high quality product and then provide a subpar product. That makes no sense. In Cece's case, she's not the first to get catfished by Captain D's. About a year ago, a user on Reddit voiced a similar complaint to the mildly infuriating subreddit. Ordered delivery from what I thought was a new place called Catfish Kitchen. What arrived was Captain D's, the post reads. But here's my question, and I know, yes, it is mildly infuriating, but is the food decent? We were just talking about how the food was subpar in a lot of cases, like with the meltdown and it's Denny's and blah, blah, blah. But is the food actually decent? CC later posted an update video answering the questions, offering further thoughts on the matter. In this video, CC says that while she was aware of ghost kitchens, she did not know they could be operated out of existing restaurants. Furthermore, she says the food she received was no different from Captain D's. Okay, but this is exactly the problem. They're literally just rebranding the same products they already have within the ghost kitchen as the same as their actual restaurant. And a lot of people are saying that's piggybacking off the idea that they're a small business, when in reality, they're a big chain looking like a small business.
Now let's see if our mystery ghost diver is really Ebenezer Sharp.
It's not him. Then who is it?
I got it. Does this seaweed help remind you of that picture on Widow Cutler's wall?
Captain?
These nuts. Ha! Got him!
Now again, I've never heard of Captain D's, I've never been to a Captain D's, and I have no interest in seeing what Captain D's has to offer. But I wouldn't support a company that does that to other people. That sounds horrendous.
I paid $30 for Captain D's. That's too damn much. Nasty. It was nasty. I tried to eat it. It was not good. So I definitely got my money back. Thank God.
Okay, I would be careful with pushing that refund boundary. I know that you felt deceived and you didn't want to pay for a company to provide you Captain D's quality food, especially when you were looking for a different restaurant entirely. But a lot of these companies flag that kind of behavior, so be careful. Following this, she calls out ghost kitchens, saying the proliferation of such virtual brands is not okay. And a lot of people have those complaints, and quite honestly, I don't blame them. In this exact case, they're providing the exact same products for the same quality of food. It's one thing if some of the products that you have on your main menu also happen to be on this menu, but then there are a lot more specialty items on the virtual brand that you don't have on your main brand, or vice versa. But in this case, that's exactly what you did. I'm all for the concept of having as much virtual real estate as possible, but don't be deceptive about it.
At minimum, these places should at least let you know where they're operating out of.
Yeah, that's a good point. She literally did the research, and it turns out the addresses were not the same. That was a bait and switch. In the comment section, users largely agreed with her assessment. Yup, I had to convince my coworker not to order from Mr. Beast stuff because it was Applebee's, said a user. Oh, Mr. Beast isn't going to be happy to hear about that.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they...
I actually know a small business around here that actually has Mr. Beast Burger in their own little restaurant. Now they're lumped into the same category as Applebee's. And I know the Tender Shack actually operates out of a few different chains. So, I don't know, man. Maybe there's something to be said about taking it a little too far, but do your research and see where these burgers are coming from. Yep, pardon my cheesesteak got me. I was mad when I seen IHOP offered another. Yet, it feels like a bait and switch. I'm not even gonna condone the behavior of a lot of these companies. And I know that IHOP has already earned a reputation for trying to switch from IHOP to IHOB, which was for burgers, and then they went right back to IHOP because I got a lot of hate for that. That really shows once you got a reputation for something, the audience that you're working with wants you to continue with that. Because it's almost betraying, especially if somebody feels burned by something that you've been doing. This person person did not like Captain D's, so they ordered from Catfish Kitchen trying to avoid Captain D's. And that bait and switch just sucks. This is my opinion. It's worth what you pay for it. None of you pay me. There you go. I think, honestly, at this point, ghost kitchens have gotten so far out of hand, it doesn't even matter if you're doing it for the right reasons. You are going to be hated on for it. I'm all for opening up more opportunities for yourself, but at this point, if you have a bad reputation, no one wants to work with you. Whether it was your intention to hide from it or just to make more money, it's irrelevant because this is what ends up happening. But also begs the question, has our culture become so unforgiving? Once you screw up, you're done. You cannot bounce back from that point. I don't know. It seems like that's where it ends up, but I can't say for certain. But all in all, just make sure that if you're going to order on any of these platforms, whether you're a driver or a customer, if there is a level of confusion, if you never heard of this place, just Google it. See if you could figure out if it's actually a real place or if it's a restaurant operating out of another restaurant, because I think it's clear as day that some restaurants are playing games and it's causing more confusion and more negativity than it is opportunity. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.